Hello guys, welcome to this video. In this video we'll be building a multiplication table. We know how multiplication works. A particular number times a particular number. For example, 1 times 1 will give us 1, 2 times 2 will give us 2. Sorry, 2 times 2 will give us 4, 1 times 2 will give us 2, 1 times 3 is going to give us 3, and so on and so forth. We can implement this logic using Python programming language. And how can we do that? We're going to make use of for loop in Python programming language. I've explained how for loops work, but I'm just going to give a quick rundown on how for loops work. Let's, for example, have a variable called box, and we give it's going to be a list. Let's say 0, 1, 2, 4, 5, and then we did for x in box. So now print out the x. What is actually happening here is that this for loop will go into this box. Like we said, this x is what is going to be old. When this for loop go into this box variable, it's going to iterate through every element that's here. It's going to be stored in this x. So in the first state, it's going to go to 0. It's going to be 0. So here it's going to be x equals to 0, and then I'm going to print the x out here. So when I run it, you can see I was able to get to 0 to 5, but that is what was inside here. So how can we implement this in Python programming language, like what we are doing in this video, which is the multiplication? So let's say in a situation, I know that I'm going to get all this output. Let me times all of them by 2. So any output that I got printed out here is going to be times by 2. So let's say times 2. So initially it's going to be 0 times 2 is going to be 0. So 1 times 2 is going to be 2. 2 times 2 is going to be 4. So let's run and see that. You can see I was able to get it. So it just basically multiplication table which is for 2 multiplication or 2 multipliers or 2 multipliers. So that's basically what we just did here. For us to make it more convenient, we'll apply range. I've talked about what range is and how to do that. Just simple range. We'll start from 0 to, let's say, I want to get any multiplication of 2 from 0 to 19. Let's say 20, because I've talked about how all this involves, which I'm not going to explain in more details. I've talked about it in my previous video, so just don't make sure to check it out. So when we do this, we're going to have, okay, let me print out the x. We're going to have numbers from 0, ranging from 0 to, let me scroll, ranging from 0 to, as you can see here, ranging from 0 to 20, as you can see here. So if we times it, let's say by 5, we're going to get multiplication of 5. So let's try and do that. Okay, don't run it. As you can see here, we know that 5 times 0 is 5, 5 times 1 is 5, and 5 times 2 is 10, and so on and so forth. So at least we'll build a basic, we'll build a multiplication table. So what we need, we can try to make it more entertaining. We can tell the user, we can make a user, prompting the user to enter the multiplication table he or she wants to enter. Let's say we create a variable user. I'm going to give it an input, and we will be accepting a number, not a float. So we're accepting an integer number, not float or string. So int, you can say enter the multiplication you want. So what is actually going on here? I'm going to prompt user. So before that, we need to set input, because like this we just want what like this one, we want to convert what is into integers. So before we can collect input from it, I'm going to put the input keyword in front, which is going to be a lower letter input. So what is actually happening here is that enter the number the multiplication table you want. So this input is going to be collect the input from somebody, and it's going to be converted to an integer. So this just basically what's going to happen here. We want to times it by what the user enter. Let's say we want multiplication for 1, sorry, for 10, for example. So when I run this, it's going to prompt him to enter a multiplication table you want. Let's say I want 10, and then I hit enter. You can see, let's go up. You see, I was able to get multiplications of 10. You can see, we know that 10 times 0 is 10, 10 times 1 is 10, 10, 10 times 2 is 20, 30, 40, and so on and so forth. Let's want to get multiplication for that of 7, for example. Let's enter 7. Okay, let's go small. We know that 7 times 0 is 0, 7 times 1 is 7, 7 times 2 is 14, 7 times 3 is 21. As you can see, like this, we have built a basic, we have built a fully working multiplication table. All we have to do now is just to beautify it a little bit more. And how can we do that? We can say sorry, use capital letter multiplication. Application of what the user enter. Here I'm going to make use of f string. I've talked about f string in one of my previous video. Application of, here I'm going to what the user entered. Application of, let's say 7. Okay, let's say this is x. So what is happening here is 0. Let's example, initially 0 times 7 is equals to, let me remove, this is not needed anymore, equals to, which is going to be x times u. So it just basically simple to understand. Let me, I'm going to explain. This is just what I put here, just it tends to, I explained this in one of my previous video when we talked about. Make sure to check it out. What this thing does is just to make this test to go to the next line. So what is happening here? Multiplication of x, let's say initially x is 0 times user, which what user enter, which let's say for example 7. So 0 times 7 is equals to this is where we're doing the mass. So this is just basically what is actually doing here, but we just want to make it more user friendly and more entertaining. So let's run it and see. Enter multiplication 1. Let's say I want 8. As you can see, let me go up. Multiplication of 0 times 8 is equals to 8. Multiplication of 1 times 8 is equals to, sorry, here 0, 8. 2 times 8 is equals to 16. 3 times 8 is equals to 24. 4 times 8 and so on and so forth. So this is how you can basically build a multiplication table. You can increase this, because if you want to get to a lower or a larger value, you can see we're able to stop at 20 times 8. We can make it to up to 100 or any value of your choice, but let's make it, set it to 100. Okay, let's say I want 5. You can see 99 times 5 is 495. So this basically how you can build a multiplication table in Python programming language. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and also like if you find it helpful. Thank you for watching.